you know that your real teacher is the Buddha. The Buddha is gone, but his words are with us. The Buddha says, if you see the Dhamma, you see the Buddha. You see the Buddha, you see the Dhamma. So the Buddha's body is still with us, his words. So you rely on the Buddha. In Chinese we say, 本师释迦牟尼佛, original teacher is the Buddha. Now, unfortunately, not everybody who listens to the Dhamma becomes a Sotapanna. But it's also not that difficult. If you study the suttas and the Vinaya, you can see it's not that difficult to become a stream enterer. If you have certain good qualities in you. For example, after the Buddha was enlightened, he will look for people to teach the Dhamma to. And usually he will look for people who have achieved the jhanas. Because if a person has achieved the jhanas, you are rid of the 5 hindrances. The Buddha says that we are deluded because we cannot see clearly. And the reason we cannot see clearly is because there are 5 hindrances that envelop us. In Chinese we say Wu Kai, cover us. So these 5 hindrances are sensual desire, ill will or anger, sloth and torpor, restlessness and worry, and doubt. So these 5 things envelop us. But when we achieve a focused mind, one-pointedness of mind, these 5 hindrances fall away. It's as though the dark glasses have been removed from us, and then we can see more clearly. So the Buddha used to look for such people, and when he spoke the Dhamma to these people who had attained the jhanas, they understood and they attained various levels of Arya-Bhut. Now there's one time when the Buddha went to look to stay with 1,000 ascetics. They were called Jatilas, matted hair ascetics. And they worshipped the fire. And they submerged themselves in the river 3 times in the morning and 3 times in the evening to wash away their sins. They had wrong views. But because they practiced jhana, I believe, that the Buddha went to them. So the leader of these 1,000 ascetics, he probably had psychic power, so he thought that he was an arahant, and people also thought that he was an arahant. So the Buddha went to live with them for several weeks, and during the several weeks, slowly he showed his great psychic power to them, so that in the end they had such faith in him. And when they had faith in him, then the Buddha told the leader, Kassapa, we keep thinking you are an arahant, but you are not an arahant. And you are not walking the path to become an arahant. It was like a slap in his face. Nobody had challenged him like that. So when he contemplated, he realized that the Buddha's cultivation was higher than his. So he shaved off his long hair and became a disciple of the Buddha, a monk disciple. And the 999 followed suit. So after 1,000 of them had become his disciples, then only the Buddha taught them the Dhamma. And the Buddha spoke only one sutta called the Adita Pariyaya Sutta, the fire discourse. Because these people prayed to fire, and the Buddha used fire to attract their attention. The Buddha said that the world is on fire, the eye is on fire, the ear, the nose, the tongue, body and mind are on fire. What fire? Fire of greed, hatred and delusion. So when they heard this, they paid full attention. And slowly the Buddha led them to the topic of anatta, no self. And after preaching the sutta, because their mind was so clear, they understood just one sutta, all 1,000 of them became arahants. And after they became arahants, the Buddha brought them to Rajagaha, where King Bimbisara threw lunch dana for all of them. And then after the lunch dana, the Buddha gave a graduated discourse, a progressive discourse on the Four Noble Truths. Now the people of Rajagaha all came out to see the Arahants. And when the Buddha spoke this discourse, it is said 12 Nahutas of people attained stream entry. And the Vinaya books, commentaries, they say that 120,000 people attain stream entry. So you see, just listening to the Dhamma for the first time, these ascetics became Arahants. And these lay people listen to the Dhamma for the first time, they attain stream entry. So you see, there's a difference, if a person listens to, say, a particular sutta, if he has a very clear mind, having attained the 4 jhanas, he becomes an Arahant. But another person now who has not achieved jhana, one-pointedness of mind, if he listens to the same Dhamma, he can only attain stream entry. So, you see here, this is not that difficult. And then there is a Sarakani Sutta in the Samyutta Nikaya. There was a layman called Sarakani who passed away. He was a long time lay disciple of the Buddha. And after he passed away, people asked the Buddha, where was Sarakani reborn? And the Buddha said, oh, Sarakani was a Sotapanna. He's gone for a good rebirth. And then when this news spread, there were some people who were not happy because they said that Sarakani used to drink some liquor. Lay people are supposed to keep the 5 precepts, and the 5th precept is a precept against liquor intoxicants. So because Sarakani drank some liquor, they doubted that Sarakani was a Sotapanna. So the news came back to the Buddha's ears. Then the Buddha said, why shouldn't Sarakani be a Sotapanna? He has taken refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha for a long time. In other words, he has learned the Dhamma for a long time. Then the Buddha said something quite surprising. The Buddha said, look at these trees. These big trees, if I were to preach the Dhamma to them and they could understand my words, even the trees can become Sotapanna. Why not Sarakani? So we see here, the point here is that the Buddha says if he spoke Dhamma to the trees can become Sotapanna. So Sotapanna is achieved by listening to the Dhamma, not by meditation. This is a very important point. But meditation helps. If you meditate and you sharpen your mind, then it's much easier for you to understand the Dhamma. But the crucial factor is listening to the Dhamma. If you listen to the Dhamma, you can attain stream entry. But if you meditate only and not listen to the Dhamma enough, you are not going to attain stream entry. Now in the Vinaya books, we also find that one of the Buddha's disciples called Devadatta, he wanted to take over the Buddha's place as the leader of the Sangha. And in front of the assembly of monks, the Buddha kind of scolded him, said that he was not qualified to take over the Buddha's place. And he got so annoyed because the Buddha had disgraced him in front of so many people that he wanted to kill the Buddha. So he tried various ways to kill the Buddha. And one of the ways he tried was to ask the Prince Ajatasattu to give him a few, I think probably soldiers, a few men to do some work. So the prince provided him with a few men because this prince had a lot of faith in Devadatta. Because Devadatta, in the beginning, his cultivation was quite good. He had psychic powers. So Devadatta told the first man, you go into such and such a forest area, Samana Gautama is staying there. The Buddha's name during those days was Samana Gautama. Gautama was his surname. Samana is an ascetic. So he told the first man to go to that place and kill the Buddha and come back by a certain road. And after this man had gone, he told 2 men to wait for